It's good.
All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory to YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe, and the elect begins with the 144,000. YAHAWAH, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. BAHASHAM is in the name. YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The RAWCHAA doctrine is the Holy Spirit. We're the brothers of the Great Millstone Chicago camp. I'm the brother you join with.
Shalom, the brother AHPARYAM.
Come back at you, brothers and sisters of the household of faith of the hopeful righteous elect with another lesson. And Lord, when we hope this lesson be edifying through the spirit and power of YAHAWADAH. Once again, we hope this lesson is edifying. And Shabbat Shalom, by the way, also. We're going to simply entitle this lesson, the wicked being revealed. Ultimately, Esau is losing, man. Because ultimately, it began with the preaching of this word that ultimately Esau, Edom, was beginning to go down, man. And ultimately we're starting to see his kingdom decay, man. We're starting to see him complain. We're starting to see the curses come upon this devil, man. So it's evident that we're at the end, man. But you got it, AHPARYAM.
No, that's it. I got the elders video, Elder Manatas Akbar from South Carolina, and he was basically playing various clips of these people who appear to be Edomites, crashing out.
That ain't even premium. That's just regular. And now they're putting this E10 and E15 in it. That is like,
and he said, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Hey, and this is his kingdom, man. It was a time that Esau was prospering. Esau was thriving, but he know what it feels like to be a everyday Jake, man.
I got one real quick.
Yes, sir.
You had quoted it before the camera came on. This is Sirach 14. I'm gonna just start at 3. It says, riches are not comely for a niggard, and what should an envious man do with money? All right. So this man, he's not supposed to be in a rulership position, period. It says, he that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others that shall spend his goods riotously.
Yep.
He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
And exactly right, man, because Esau Edom he ultimately rules the world, right? But he is not a good ruler. Everything he does is ultimately, it's against himself also, man. Here you have it, you got chemtrails spreading out throughout the foods and different things like that. But he's ultimately poisoning himself also, man. The different things he's trying to do to the public, he's also doing it to himself, man. Which just shows you that he's not a good ruler, man. Because the scripture says, I have seen servants, on horses, and ultimately they're servants. They're servants in a rulership position, man.
This Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn.
And right, the video of the brothers just playing, man. The wicked is in rulership. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Now, everybody that's under this devil's rulership, they're suffering and being oppressed, man. I had seen a TikTok video of this woman talking about she put only $5 to $8 in her gas tank every single day just to get back, man. And ultimately, this is the state of the average day American, man. Ultimately, basically struggling to get back under this devil's domain, this devil's rulership, man.
I got I know we wanted to get that 2 Thessalonians. I got this too, real quick.
Yeah, you got it up.
Sirach 10. Man, come on, Sirach 10.
Can you start at verse 1? You can just read through it.
Yeah. It says, Sirach 10:1, a wise, and let me go to the chapter. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
And we know that Esau Edom is not a wise king, a wise judge, man, because if he was a wise king, a wise judge, he will ultimately be instructing this world in the ways of the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And when somebody go off, you ultimately you bring the judgment down. And ultimately because scripture says, when the law is slack, wrong judgment proceeded, man. So this devil is clean contrary. He's not a good king. He's not a good judge. That's why we have the world in the state that is in right now.
Right. It says in Wisdom of Solomon, it says, you kings honor wisdom, you kings of the earth. But he casted the instructions behind his back.
And
Sirach,
exactly.
yeah. Sirach 10 and 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Right. So simply, if the top is wicked, everybody underneath that, the top is going to be wicked also, because what? The people follow the vibration of the king. Whatever the king does, the people will follow suit. Whatever, conduct the king shows, hey, ultimately what? The people will follow suit, man.
Yeah, just to back that up too, Proverbs 29 and 12, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
And exactly right. Going back to that Sirach 10, man. Everybody follows the vibration of the king. And what type of laws does this devil Esau Edom put out? Laws of nothing but wickedness, man. So everybody underneath him is going to be wicked also, man, following that wicked vibration.
Exactly. The top down.
That's right.
It says, verse 3 says, an unwise king destroyeth his people.
An unwise king destroyeth his people. That's what Esau Edom does, man. He oppresses his people. He take advantage of his own people, man. Hey, here you have it, man. Hey, the video the brother is playing, you have Edomites ultimately complaining, man. Here you have who's in rulership, man. Hey, Edomites, and who's at the top of that, man? Amalek. And Amalek ultimately hoarded the blessing to himself, man.
Right. Exactly. So the man, come on, man. How an unwise king destroyeth his people. That's bad for your kingdom. Your people are dying. They're not healthy. They can't produce. Like that, it doesn't make any sense, man. This is your kingdom. It says an unwise king destroyeth his people. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Because even when we have all the nations in slavery under YAHAWASHI and the throne of David, all right, they're going to be, the heathen are going to be in slavery, but we're not going to, we're not going to destroy them utterly and to the point where like everything's messed up, they're dying and all this stuff,
Because what Esau, like, just to back up your point now, because what Esau does, right? He bombs people indiscriminately, man. For no fucking reason. And just to back up your point, in the kingdom, we're not going to be doing that, man. Hey, these other nations will be happy to pay tribute, to the nation of Israel, beginning with YAHAWASHI, man. Because we're not going to be oppressive. Because what? The rulership that's going to be on the face of the earth is going to benefit everybody, man.
Exactly.
It's going to benefit everybody. You don't have to worry about, you being oppressed on a daily basis, your family getting killed for no reason, man. Hey, no, that's what Esau Edom does,
Right. And there's going to be a 1,000-year period of hardcore slavery and retribution. But after that, man, the nations are going to be, even the nations are going to be blessed through us.
Yeah. Yep.
The earth
I believe it talks about that. Oh, Salaki, I have to cut you off. I believe it talks about that in somewhere. I believe it talks about that in Isaiah 61. It talks about our gates are going to be open continually. I believe I get those scriptures mixed up sometimes. I believe it's Isaiah 61, somewhere around. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I believe it is too. Hold on.
You don't have to grab it though, just quoting it. But
okay.
You can grab that 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, Ibaya.
Yeah, I got it right here.
The time where ultimately what? Hey, the word is gone now, man. This devil is being exposed, man. Because he even talks about the 2 witnesses in Revelations. Hey, what's that? The southern and the northern kingdom, man. And ultimately, what? You have the 3rd witness, because it talks about what's that? 2 or 3 witnesses, man. Ultimately speaking out against this devil, man.
Yeah. Hey, the 3rd witness too. That would be like what? All these alternative media.
Yep. Podcasters. Things like that.
Like Redacted, all this type of stuff. Kim Iverson, Jimmy Dore, they're all testifying against Esau too. They're testifying against this wicked rulership too. They just don't know that it's biblical. But this is 2 Thessalonians 2, and this chapter is entitled "The Man of Lawlessness." All right, Esau Edom, the man of sin. So it says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8 or 7 or 6, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
Hey, what do verse 5 say?
It says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things?"
Yeah, start at verse 5 and read down.
2 Thessalonians 2:5. "Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time."
Yeah, who is the he? Hey, this devil, man, Esau Edom. Because it was evident, our people knew, who the Edomites were back then doing the ancient Roman captivity, man. But ultimately what, when Esau came back into power, he ultimately what spread those lies across the world to ultimately to hide who he is, to hide his wickedness for a time, man. But ultimately what these said things are being revealed in this generation today, man, this time today. Everybody is finding out who the wicked is, man.
That's why it says the mystery of iniquity. It was a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was a mysterion. It was a hidden thing. All right. But so verse 7, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way."
Until he be taken out of the way. And we're ultimately seeing we're seeing that, man, because we're ultimately at the end of this man's kingdom, man. Hey, YAHAWASHI is going to make his second return to take this devil out of power, man. These are the things that we're which we are seeing right now, man. What's that? Sirach 25:7 says, "He that liveth to see the fall of his enemies." If you can grab that real quick,
Yes, sir. I'm right here. That's
yes, sir.
Sirach 25:7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter it with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy."
Right, he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy, because this devil has been falling ever since this word came on the scene, man. What's that, 1969, 1970, man? When Abba Bivens ultimately, the Lord used Abba Bivens, which through the spirit we believe to be Elijah through faith, man. Ultimately, when this word came out, that's when Esau Edom started to fall, because I believe it talks about that, man. Though he reaching up into the heavens, then when the Lord bring thee down to the ground.
Yeah, I just pulled it up on the screen right here. That's Obadiah 1:4. "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh." And what happened, man? He proclaimed himself to go to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, right around that same time when Abba Bivens, when Elijah was on the scene, man. And it also, Revelation 11 also goes into it.
Yep.
1,203 score days, all right, which translates to 3.5 years, which to
it's that 350-year period. So you have from 1619 during the transatlantic slave trade, when the bulk of the slaves, mainly the Southern Kingdom, came over here to 1969, 1970, when this word was beginning to be preached.
The water.
Yep.
So you want to go back in Thessalonians?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this second Thessalonians 2, and now we're at verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh the Lord BAHASHAM shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets," which is the truth coming out, "and shall destroy him with the brightness of his coming."
And how do you ultimately prove, that's talking about the prophets and this word being preached? Because in Luke 1:70 it says what? "By the mouth of my holy prophets ever since the world began," man. So what? Before the downfall of a major empire, the Lord sends his prophets out to not only warn his people, but to prophesy against that said kingdom, man. Because it talks about that. What's that? Jeremiah 28:8. And it also says in I believe it's in either Jeremiah or Isaiah, says prophesy against Mount Seir. So that's what we're doing. Hey, Wisdom of Solomon 5 said, "The righteous man shall stand in great boldness." So we're telling this devil to his face that his kingdom is going down, man. That he's losing. And what's the big result of that, man? Hey, he's losing his woman. He's losing his kingdom. So the Lord is stripping this man piece by piece, man. What made the Edomites so great, man? Hey, America. Ultimately his whiteness. All those said things are being stripped away, man. It's not fun to be a so-called white man.
No.
It's not fun to be a so-called white man. In 60s, 70s, 80s, early 2000s, it was. But ultimately, what? What is the so-called white man dealing with now? Hey, he's being known as a pedo. He's being brought up in the EP files, man. He's being known as a thief, a robber, a crook. You know, he's being known as all of these said things, man. You know?
Just as Jake was looked down upon, man.
Exactly.
Hey, the scriptures are true, man. The curses shall come upon thine enemies.
Yep, yep.
It says 2 Thessalonians 2:9. All right. It's gonna talk about Esau Edom, and who's the wicked. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So they deal with Satan. They deal with the Lord's left hand side.
That's right.
That's their God. That's where they get their power from. That's where they do their sacrifices to, so on and so forth. It says, with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right. And what are those? You know, we could talk about real quick those signs and lying wonders, powers. What, AI? All right.
Yeah.
His technology, his nuclear, you know,
capability, all that.
His media deception. Okay.
I was just gonna say that, Con.
Bro, come on. His enchantments, his psyops. That's power, signs, and lying wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, these things make the earth look at him as God, right? He's the authority, man. The white man, he has to say what's what. He's gonna tell us what health is. He's gonna tell us what science is. He's gonna tell us everything, you know. Oh, he has the highest IQ, right?
Yep, that's why it says, that's why the world wondered after the beast, man. Because the world is amazed by these said things, his AI, like you mentioned, his technology, you know, things of that nature, man. His alluring philosophies.
Con, and he painted himself as the Father and the Son and the angels.
Yeah, complete blasphemy, man.
So when the people think of God and the Alahayim, they think of Edom. All right, that's deceivable. That's that deceivableness, that the signs, man, the lying wonders.
Hey, because that's the thing, man. Just to back you up real quick, I bias, so I could cut you off, but just to make this point real quick, if the so-called white man don't have these said things which we mentioned, which the Lord is stripping away, who is he at the end of the day, man? He's a nobody.
Con. Yeah, he's Job 30.
Yeah. Yep, a beast man.
He's a base man. He's gonna go back to being a servant.
Yep.
Hey, we had the Apostle Ramla. You know, I'm gonna pull this up real quick if I may, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it.
Apostle Ramla, GMS info doc. Cause you know what, man? Just look at this. Me and Asa said this, bro. This Esau Edom, he just doesn't look right wearing the crown, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah,
cause he Elder Apostle Ramla actually just said that. Which you on his channel right now. He said he's like a how did he quote? He said he's like a swine with the crown or something like that.
Right. Yeah. And the scriptures even talks about a swine with the gold in his snout.
Yeah.
You know, which I believe that's talking about a woman without discretion, but still. Bro, look at this devil, bro. All this royalty and majesty, and it just doesn't fit him. Like, it just doesn't look right on him. You know, King Charles announcing the digital ID. This is the wicked.
Yep.
All right. In our kingdom, there's not going to be no fucking digital ID. There's not going to be no
Social security cards, birth certificates. There's not going to be any of that, man.
These snares.
That's what Esau Edom uses to ultimately to bind the world under his dominion, essentially, man. You know, he grabbed that. It's more to that 2 Thessalonians, is it? Well, that was it.
It's a little more.
All right, Con, you got it out.
And verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Right. They that receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. That's talking about our people, man. Because you're going to have 2/3 of our people that still hooked on to this man's system, his ideologies and things like that. So that they will never come into the truth, man. Because these are different stumbling blocks that the Lord has got out here for 2/3 of our people that he doesn't want ultimately, man.
They're going to worship the image of the beast.
Yep.
Hey, it says, and for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Exactly. Pleasure in unrighteousness, man. Ultimately following after the ways, the alluring ways of Esau Edom, man. You know, to their destruction.
What had you called for, Ak?
You can grab that because we did say what, that Esau is losing, right? Hey, Lamentations 4:21 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you got after that, Ak?
Okay, Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked.
Right, the cup shall pass through unto thee. What's that? The cup of the curses, the cup of slavery, the cup of torment. It says what? It says what? That, you can read that last part again, Baba Kusha.
It says, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked.
And right, this man is being naked by ultimately what? Being exposed by this word, man. You know? And ultimately we're seeing what? The curses come upon this devil. And what's the end? Hey, what's going to be the end result? Ultimately what? His kingdom going down. And he's being dragged into slavery for that 1,000-year period. And ultimately what? Being destroyed at the end of it, man. Obadiah 1 and 18. What you got it up?
And it even says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, because this is his kingdom, you know? Like this is his portion. All right. So we're not supposed to try to you know, live it up in his kingdom. Like this is for them to have.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord set it up like that. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Yeah, because this is the last captivity of the Israelites, man, because it talks about the YAHAWASHI is going to return to a world ruled by the Edomites, but it also says in Daniel's, it says that what? No, it's actually in two places. I'm thinking of two scriptures. It says in Nahum that affliction shall not arise up a second time. And it talks about in Daniel's that ultimately what? All the thrones shall be cast down. You know, loosely paraphrasing. You know, meaning what? All heathen rulership and dominion is going to be done away with, man. That's heathens are never going to rule again. Esau Edom is the last heathen to rule before the establishment of the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, so this is the last captivity of the Israelites, and ultimately after that, man, we're going to reign forever, man. You know,
that's right. It says, "He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins."
And that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's discovering this damn devil, man. Salakia.
This Nahum 1 and 9. What do ye imagine against Yahweh? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
Yeah, affliction shall not arise up a second time, man, because this is it, man. And this is our last punishment, the last go around of the nation of Israel getting you know, messed up. You know, and this is it, man. And ultimately what? The Lord is going to establish his elect, you know, beginning with YAHAWASHI, you know, the 144,000. You're going to have the 2/3 that's going to be eventually ushered back into the kingdom. And we're going to rule this world in righteousness, man. But that's pretty much all I had. Anything you got?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it, man. Lying lips is but for a moment.
That's right.
All right, but the truth will be established forever. YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, the only begotten Son of the Most High God, Yahweh. And that's what it is, bro.
Yep, yes, sir. Close it out. So with that being said, we hope this lesson was edifying. I want to end up again all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, or QADASH. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord, we hope this lesson was edifying. Till next time, call me YASHARAHLA, Shalom, Abba, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Akim, Abba.
Abba.